Hey, dude,
Hey, what's up, dude?
what's going on?
Oh, just hanging out, man. Trying this new setting we got going on, man.
Yeah. So this is a podcast, Guys Who Still High Five. Um,
That's right.
my name's Ryan.
I'm Dave.
That's Dave. We are, would you say we were veterans of podcasting?
Yes, we
I
are.
would
We're
say
old
so.
school. Been podcasting for like what, 15 years now?
What year was that? 2012
So 13.
when I started the first, or was it 2011? It's right around there. I think I started the podcast in 2011. You made your appearance in 2012.
Yeah, so
And
13 years.
and then
You couldn't get rid of me. I'm like a bad penny.
yeah, the rest is history. So we're not new to this. It might feel clunky, but this is the first time we've done a podcast like this.
Yeah,
And let me explain for the listeners that know us and the listeners that are new to us or viewers, whatever. Um,
yeah. Our people.
yeah, we used to podcast in studio because we used to live near each other
Yep.
in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
That's safe to say. Well, that's no longer the case.
No.
I am no longer in Illinois slash southern Wisconsin. I am in the great state of Alabama. And
Yeah,
you are still in southern Wisconsin.
that is correct.
Ironically, the day we're recording, we both have snow on the ground.
Very little for me.
Yeah, well, most of mine melted yesterday.
Yeah.
Uh, so just on Friday, we got 2 inches,
That's
and
all that we've gotten.
they shut everything down. Like, it's not even funny. Like everything shuts down here when it snows. So, I didn't have to work on Friday. Like it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Nobody drives, nobody does anything. So it's kind of
Whole
weird.
town. Whole
Yeah,
state just shuts down.
pretty much. It's weird. It's like, and it's so the weird thing is, I had to take my wife to the airport like super early Saturday morning, right? So it snows on Friday. Everything shut down. And they do this because they don't have snow plows. They don't put salt on the roads. So like as you know,
Yeah.
uh like salt is, if it's even a thought about it, they're salting up north. Yeah, they
Yep.
don't have salt down here. Also, the roads aren't shitty. We don't have potholes like
Oh,
like
yeah.
up north. So the roads are much better because of that. But they do put sand down, from what I've been told. But
Interesting.
anyways, so it snows all day Friday, and I have to go to the airport. Now it's about 15 minutes away, so it's much more convenient than trying to drive to O'Hare. Um,
Hmm.
and it's a little tiny airport, kind of like Rockford's airport,
Okay.
to give you an idea, but maybe a hair busier. Anyways, um, and like I saw 5 cars on the whole ride there and back. Like
Wow.
that's it. And I'm on like 2 major highways to get there. So
Yeah.
just
And
to
if that
give you
was
an
in,
idea, like nobody drives, dude. It
yeah, I
just
was to say, if that was Wisconsin, I would have seen 5 cars in the ditch.
Yeah. And then, okay, I only saw one car on the side of the road in that span too. And so like cars on the side of the road are very common down here. Um, but it's because of overheating and things like that.
Okay.
And like it's weird. Okay. This is something I'll talk to you about. So you know how up north, if a car is on the side of the road, within like a day there's a ticket on it, and
Yep.
within
Big
like a
orange
week
sticker.
that shit's being towed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been down here since September, October. There's a fucking car that was sitting in on the side of the, it wasn't even on the side of the road. Okay. You have the highway and then you have the on-ramp, right? Like
Okay.
an
Yeah.
on-ramp. so their car's sitting right here in like one of the most dangerous spots it could be, right? That car sat there for September, October, November. They took it away maybe a few days before Christmas. That's
Wow.
how long it sat there. I was actually beginning to call it like when people would come visit, like, oh, this is our art that we have. Just a statue of this car. It's a nice car too. And it's like, I guess my question is, why does nobody come get their car? Like, how long would you leave your car just sitting on the side of the road? You know what I mean?
Uh, that night would be the
Yeah.
longest
You
I'd make.
try to get it as like at least to a repair shop, towed back to your house, something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, not down here. We just leave our car.
So
There's
have you done that yet? Have you decided to like just leave your car for a
no,
couple
well,
days?
I mean, neither one of my cars, knock on wood, have broke down. But if it does, like I have insurance that includes towing. So like I would have that towed, like I
Maybe you don't
wouldn't
have
just
to.
leave my car.
Just leave it. Just be like, I'm gonna leave my car here. I'm gonna take a walk the rest of the way, and then walk back later. A
Oh,
couple days.
dude, there's a lot of weird stuff I have to tell you about down there. When we start talking about this stuff, it reminds me of things. Um, so I live in a near it, like it's pretty wooded, like it's near the Tennessee River,
Okay.
and you'll be on the highway, and you know how like it'll go down off the side of the highway, and then there's like be some woods off to the side, right? So
Hmm.
it's maybe what 75 feet from the road to the woods. Cars will just go off the side and go park down, and then they'll just start hunting.
Really?
Yeah, they just go hunt. That's where I'm gonna go hunt, and like it's okay. It's so weird because up north that you have designated areas where you hunt.
Right.
I don't think that's a thing down here. So it kind of
That's
makes
great.
me nervous. Like, well, what happens if they're in the woods and a deer or whatever they're hunting is between them and the highway, and they start shooting at the highway,
At the highway, yeah.
miss the deer or whatever, and then hit somebody driving by? Like, I don't know. It's weird. The gun
Well, I mean,
laws are completely different down here too. So,
yeah. Just gotta watch where you're driving. Watch
yeah,
out for bullets.
apparently you just
Yeah.
gotta be lucky and not get hit, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's why you drive fast, and then you're fine.
Yeah,
Drive faster than a speeding bullet, you'll be all right.
yeah. I try. So,
So, for those that don't know who we are, let's tell
oh
them a
yeah,
little bit about who we are. So, my name is Dave. I am a counselor, both for mental health and substance abuse, couples, kids, pretty much as young as 5 and as old as 75 is who I see. I focus on that, and I'm in recovery myself. Been over 10 years now, and I'm working on getting my doctorate as well. So, I've got an improv, comedy, acting, singing background. And I write books as well, for those that don't know that. You can find my books on Amazon, soon to be on Audible, hopefully in the next couple of months. But yeah, that's the quick version of who I am.
nice. So we can't call you Dr. Dave yet.
Not yet. I do have a couple of clients that do. They've called me that before I even started taking my doctorate, but no, my doctor program should be done, I think May of 26.
Okay. So soon.
Yeah, about a year,
Well, yeah,
year
about
and
a
a half.
year, a little over a
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Well, we'll appropriately change your how you're addressed on this show at that point in time.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we'll just call you Dave.
That'll work. That'll work.
And I'm Ryan. Um, I've known Dave for, man, how many years have we known each other? It was like what, '09, 2000?
Yeah.
No, it was earlier than that. It's like '06,
Yeah.
'05,
Yeah. No, it would have been,
'04.
yeah, because I was still, it was probably '04.
Yeah, it was like early.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause I
so
was still
almost
married.
like
Yeah.
20, 21 years,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yep.
Well, anyways, I've known Dave that long, and
Oh.
just yeah, does it make you feel old?
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
it is a long time.
You and I, our relationship could legally drink alcohol.
Yeah, And the
You know?
problem is you no longer drink. And
Right, right.
and I only drink socially and there's nobody here to drink with. So
Yeah, no, and that's what's gonna suck is like when we podcast in the studio and you would drink, I'd be able to smell the alcohol,
yeah,
because I like the smell of it still. I could be around it, I just can't drink it.
right.
But yeah, now I don't have that.
Oh, and we should point out, so you're in your actual counseling office.
Oh, yeah, that's my counseling office. Yep.
So it's not like a fake backdrop or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
it's like a
legit
legit.
his office.
Yeah, it's my artwork on the wall over here. If you zoom in, that's my license and certificates behind me on the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is my actual legit office.
And this is my actual legit brick wall. Brick
Yes,
wall.
yes, yes.
It's that moves. So
You've
it's
got one
not
of
it's
those.
not a green screen or anything. It's just a backdrop that I had, and I thought it looked better than the shitty white wall that was there that had nothing else on it. So, um, yeah. Anyways, so okay. I'm Ryan. I'll do my like half-ass introduction now.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I'm trying to cover all the bases you did. So I'm not going for my doctorate. Um, I'm not going for my master's. Um, but I do work uh, with the like government contractors and testing all of the stuff that kills terrorists. I guess that would be
Nice.
a good way. That and stuff for space, stuff for aerospace, uh, stuff for military. I do all that stuff. Consider myself a conspiracy factist, not a theorist. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, that's pretty much you'll learn
That's it.
about me as we go.
Yeah. Yeah. For
So,
those that don't know who we are, yeah, you'll learn about us as we go.
yeah. Dave's probably the more calm, level-headed me. You'll have me I'll get fired up more so than others and yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much yeah.
So do we want to kind of talk about what the show's going to be? Like,
Sure. What is the show gonna be?
well,
What is that where you were trying to have me do that?
yeah, I was gonna, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So I have a note here that says so you want me to talk about like what our plan is or just
yeah, that'll work.
well here, I'll just kind of summarize. So we're just gonna do a show that we hope is entertaining for all the listeners. We like Mad Libs, so we're gonna try and we would probably like have a little banter when we start off every episode, but then we'll try and get into a Mad Lib. It's something we found loosens us up for the it gets our kind of our brain flowing and
Get
thinking
some
and
juices going. Yeah,
yeah. So we like to do Mad Lib to open it up. Obviously, we want to incorporate Dave's counseling abilities. So we encourage all the listeners if you have um, mental health issues, drinking issues, OCD, that's probably better for
yeah,
you to go over topics of what you can
yeah,
help with. But basically, I'll let you do the list and then ultimately where you can write in, we'll give you the email to write in your issues and Dave will granted it's not going to be a session and we don't want you to give your name. We want it to be anonymous for the show. But
yeah,
kind of like and in doing this it not only can help you but it can help other people that might be feeling the same
yeah.
way.
Going through the
You
same
know what I
thing.
mean? So why don't
Yeah,
you give a list of what you kind of will
yeah.
cover or can
Uh,
cover?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's not a counseling session. It's not counseling at all. It's just pretty much advice, my 2 cents on what I think could be an option. As a counselor, we can't tell clients what to do. We can just point out the different options. Um, I'm a very person-centered counselor, so what that means is I focus on what you want to talk about, and so I give you options. So, yeah, if it's a relationship advice, work advice, whatever kind of, advice you want or situation or just something that you're dealing with, be it depression, anxiety, or anything like that. Yeah, just hit us up with a question and say, it could be as vague as, hey, I have anxiety. My thoughts are constantly racing. I can never calm my mind down. Well, I got options for that. So it's really anything. And if it's something that I can't touch base on, I'll let you know. I'll be like, hey, that's something that I don't know much about, but I'll look into it and get back to you, and then we'll get back to the listener. But yeah, I want people to be able to have a springboard to bounce things off of that they may not feel comfortable talking to their own counselor, or maybe they've never talked to a counselor before, or, counseling has a bad stigma. People think, oh, you're going to a counselor, you're crazy. Well, that's not really the case. Like, getting a counseling is really important. I think a lot of people should do it because it really kind of helps them learn how to cope with things and live a happier, healthier life.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my quick synopsis.
I would say to some extent what we do is counseling for each other
Oh yeah, it's very therapeutic to
in a
get
way,
off chest. Yeah, absolutely.
So so counseling doesn't have to necessarily be because you have a specific issue. Sometimes you just need, you know,
An
it,
ear,
yeah, exactly. So anyways, essentially no question is off limits for you basically, right? No
pretty much.
topic, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So there's that. So we want to incorporate that. Obviously, like I said, I'm big into conspiracies and the political scene and if you I don't think you could bring a weird topic to me that one I probably haven't already heard or have thoughts on um and crazy. So what Dave's going to do, or hypothetically every episode, is bring me a conspiracy topic and
That's
we'll
the
see what happens. I'll give my opinion on it. He might have his own opinions, and you know, we'll go from there.
yeah,
So we want to kind of incorporate that. Um, let's see. We'll talk about stuff that's in the news. We'll talk about shows and movies we've been watching because that's always been a big thing for us. As you'll see as time goes on, Dave watches a lot more shit than I do. Um, I'm one of these guys that will turn on a movie or, well, it's usually a movie and I'll be asleep. So I can talk about the first 15 minutes, just about any movie. I couldn't tell you
nice.
how most of them end. And then, like I said, if I get hot and bothered about a topic, I've been known to rant. So to counteract those rants, we're going to we'll usually follow those up with a meditation moment where Dave will try and bring everything back
Bring it.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Calm it down.
because
Yeah.
sometimes my rants, for one, I get all hot under the collar, but it might get the listeners hot under the collar too. So,
Mhm.
we just need to bring it back down.
Yeah.
So, um,
And going back to the news stories too, one of the things that we've done in other shows is we do improvised skits.
I
Uh,
was going
uh,
about to get to that.
okay, all right. Well, go ahead then. I didn't want to cut you
I
off.
was still working on the list. So
Oh, okay.
that's kind of the main part. Now, we want to do a lot of stuff that we have to put extra time and effort into. And we want to put all that for like what you would call our dedicated fans, our bigger fans, the people that might enjoy that stuff. So instead of putting that as part of the main show, that's all going to go on to like a Patreon type thing. And correct me if I'm saying anything wrong here, Dave.
Nope, you're good so
Um,
far.
so yes, we will do skits. We like to mess around with characters and stuff that we've kind of come up with and played with, voices, just different ideas we get. It's something we've done for a long time. Dave's done it for a lot longer than me, so that comes out in the skits, which at times makes it even funnier, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
A
there's
lot of times
that.
when we do the skits, we try and push it to the point where we're making the other one laugh anyways.
It becomes a point where, yeah, the kind of the goal with each character that we're playing is to get the other one to break character. It almost becomes a game in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
While trying to, oh, and lots of times these skits, we don't know where it's going to end.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Half the time, we're not even sure where it begins. But
Right.
uh,
That's the fun with improv, it's
yeah,
just what it is. Yeah.
yeah, no, it ends up being a lot of fun. But yeah, those kinds of things. Um, there is a little bit of prep. I don't think Here's the thing: we're not going to give you everything today. Um, there's going to be a little bit that's involved with that. That if you want to see, let's just say it's not exactly us that'll be behind these skits. It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give too much more away because I figure, let's get them thinking. Let's get the listeners thinking. You want to go
I'm
check
curious.
that out? You go to Patreon. At this point, the Patreon's been created, but um, maybe at the end here, I'll give all of that. Like I'll give the email and the Insta, I'll give all that details at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Something else you'll get to see on Patreon specifically is if you're into the stuff that I'm into, conspiracies, politics, aliens, all that weird conspiracy corner type stuff. Uh, we'll do deeper dives into these topics that will be specific to Patreon. If you're into uh, the segment with like Dave doing his counseling with questions and all that, we're going to do deeper dives into that. Meaning, um, instead of like we might do one or two per episode, in one of these deeper dives that'll be Patreon specific, we might do 15 questions or
Right.
something. It just, it'll be kind of where you feel for the day. You know what I mean? When we do those, but those will be specific to Patreon. Um, we also are very curious, like, if listeners have any questions for us or whatever. It doesn't even have to be part of the Dear Dave. It can just be anything. Like, say you
Yeah.
have a conspiracy question. Maybe you want to share a story that you think it would be, I don't know, funny for us to read and comment on, all that stuff. We start getting like a lot of questions and where we can do like a AMA type thing and ask me anything.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll do a separate for just like Patreon people. I don't know. Um, but
Yeah. I
we,
mean,
we
really, the world's kind of our oyster right now. We're just going to do as much as we can to entertain and be viable to our listeners and fans.
yeah. Um, so there's two other things I was gonna bring up. So this is what we have on the docket so far. Obviously, um, we're really malleable here. We can adapt to just about anything. And if we're doing something and we're like, you know what, I think this should be a thing, we're going to start doing it. And that might not be something we're even thinking about today, right? So, but the two other things we put on our list, one specific to Patreon, the other will be when we feel like doing it. The Patreon specific one will be so we had done a show type thing in the past called Drunk Not Drunk History. It's kind of a
Mhm.
play on what that show Drunk History.
Yeah, it's a spoof on drunk history. So
Yeah,
if you've never seen drunk history, check it out. It's pretty funny. It's like C and D level actors telling actual historical events completely hammered,
right.
and they have actors reenact what they're saying happened. So in instance, if they're talking about the JFK assassination, or the Abraham, we'll go with Abraham Lincoln, doing the Abraham Lincoln assassination, and the guy telling the story starts throwing up, well, then Abraham Lincoln would start throwing up, you know.
Yeah,
And if he's like, he breaks the story and starts talking, hey, get down, cat, stupid cat, Abraham Lincoln would yell at the cat, you know.
yeah,
So we kind of, I like that style. I think it's funny. And so we were going to do that. And the spoof that we came up with was drunk, not drunk history because I'm not drunk,
right,
because I don't drink anymore. So basically, how it works is Ryan or a listener can submit a question or a historical event, and I will improvise a story of how that went. And I would do it in the theme of drunk history, as in it won't be correct.
right. And it's let's not pigeonhole you here. It's not just historical events. You can, if you want as a listener, you can say, how did such and such come about? An invention
Oh,
of
yeah.
something. Uh, the topics, anything that is of history in
Yeah.
terms of the past. If you want
Yeah.
to know how it originated or came to be or an event, whatever, it's on the table.
Yeah.
But those will be specific to Patreon as well.
Yep.
Um, Now something else we'll do, and I don't think I covered this. Did I mention we'll play games?
No, you haven't said that
I
yet.
don't think I did. I think I kind of right over top of that one. So like I said, occasionally we'll play a game that's not Mad Libs. That's like
Okay.
a an actual game. And I know at some point we want to incorporate maybe listeners with some of that, depending on the game. You know what I mean? Um, so listeners, viewers, whatever. We wanna like there'll be games just Dave and I play, and then there will be games that we might say, hey, we need a listener for this or a viewer for this to be part of it. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
um, but that's going to be when we feel like doing that. It's just something that we've also done or thought would be something fun. Oh, and we will at some point. At this moment, we're working on a couple, but at some point we will have guest interviews as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a free for all. It's a little bit of everything, you know. I don't think there's anything that's off limits. You won't see Dave and I be naked on here. I can guarantee you that.
Yep. Guaranteed.
That's probably where that's about where the line is drawn. Anything else is go for it, right?
Yep. Everything else is fair game, really.
Yeah. So, um, let's see. So where are we at? Like in terms of time here, I used to have a thing that tell me how much time we've done, and I can't see. Can you see?
No, I
Me
can't.
either. We should have looked at the time when we started. Anyways, let's say we're 20 minutes in, maybe a half hour, right?
Probably half hour, yeah.
Um, do you want to do a Mad Lib and a Dear
Yeah.
Dave today?
Let's do a Mad Lib and a Deer Dave. Let's give the
Just to
listeners what
give
they
the
want.
listener something, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me grab the handy dandy Mad Lib here. Um, so as you know, real time in like 2 weeks, we're gonna have a new president be inaugurated.
Yep.
So I have a book of presidential Mad Libs.
Oh, nice.
So just let people know these are real Mad Lib books. We
Yeah.
just find them and then I write. I ask Dave for the word he tells me, and then I write them in. Something else I like to do is not go in order,
Yeah.
meaning I'll say you know and then like if we had 14 nouns, Dave will give me 14 nouns, and I just put them randomly in noun spots, and so we see what happens here. Okay, you ready?
Reds.
Give me a verb ending in ing.
Sniffing.
Sniffing. Okay. How about a verb? Past tense.
Um, ran.
Adverb.
Swiftly.
Okay. How about give me three nouns?
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go with armpit
Okay.
and broken leg.
Got it. Now give me a plural noun.
Let's go with Trumpers.
Trumpers.
Yeah.
Okay. Adjective.
Um,
I'll need three of them.
all right, let's go with sweaty, smelly, and I'll do another S. Sexy.
Okay. How about an occupation?
Um, let's go with Uber driver.
A place.
Los Angeles.
Ooh,
I mean, that's still a place right now.
it is. Well, it'll still be a place even after the fires. Um, Part of the body, plural.
Boobies,
Give me another part of the body, plural.
eyeballs,
See what you did there. And then another part of the body, not plural.
middle finger.
Okay. This Mad Lib has been written. You
Okay.
ready for me to read it?
Yeah.
All right. This Mad Lib is called So, You Want to Be President?
Hmm.
Here we go. Do you dream of becoming the next gorilla of the United States? You'll probably want to start with a sweaty position, like a council person or mayor of Los Angeles. Then you could become a state representative or an Uber driver in order to cut your legislative boobies. Just make sure you don't support any sexy bills or controversial Trumpers. When
Nice.
in
Oh,
doubt, always side with the everyday broken leg. Be sure to keep your middle finger clean and stay free of smelly scandals, which will be sure to surface during your campaign. Everything you've ever said or ran will come to light. Finally, learn to smile and wave swiftly. You'll be shaking a lot of eyeballs and sniffing a lot of babies on the campaign trail, or you could always start as a reality TV armpit.
nice. A couple of them worked pretty good.
Yeah, sniffing babies. I mean,
Yeah,
that
man.
was that was very on the nose.
It
No pun
was
intended.
literally, yeah. All right.
There you go. Um, all right. So there's a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
They're going to be hit and miss. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad. I know we've done these in the past, and there's been some we can barely make it through because they're so funny.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then there's some that you're just like, wow, we probably could have just skipped that one. But it
Yeah,
happens, right?
it does.
Um, okay, so do you want to give him a Dear Dave?
Yeah.
All
Do
right.
that. But we got time for a conspiracy corner after that.
Yeah. So let's see. All right. Let me find you a good Dear Dave.
Okay.
Let's go with this one. Okay. Wonder if I can share screen.
As long as I don't give anybody's name or nothing.
Um, just to be safe, I won't share screen. How's that?
Yeah. There we
All
go.
right. So in the subject line, this is the subject line. Then I'll read the actual
Embodied.
issue. Subject line: pursuing a dream or keeping relationship.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the
That's
debate
the
that this
dilemma.
person, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so we have a male who's 26 and a female who's 25. They've been in a relationship for 3 years.
Yeah.
There's some context. Now, here's and if I do hit names or anything, I will remove them. I'll just maybe say guy or girl or whatever. All right.
Mhm.
I've been with my first and only boyfriend for 3 years. We moved in together quickly and have loved our time together. I genuinely want to marry him and have been eagerly waiting for a proposal. However, I've always had a dream of studying a certain subject, but postponed it for 7 years. Recently, I decided to finally pursue it and study abroad. Initially, my boyfriend supported me and even said he'd move with me. As moving day approached, his enthusiasm has faded due to understandable reasons like work and visa challenges. It's been a few months since I moved. Unfortunately, this has strained our relationship. He seems resentful, hurt, and angry, and we've been arguing about the long distance situation. At one point, he wanted to break up, though we worked through it. He's now given me an ultimatum: finish studying abroad within 2 years and return to live in his country, or he doesn't want to continue the relationship. I feel stuck because I want to pursue my academic dream, ending on getting a PhD degree, but it's clearly taking a toll on our relationship. Studying in his country isn't an option for me, it's too expensive. I'm unsure how to navigate this situation. I turn to you now, Dave.
All right. Well, without having a lot of the backstory, it's difficult to make a real good suggestion. But in my experience, if you're passionate about your PhD and passionate about learning and you're almost done, I would suggest getting that. If you're a believer in things happen for a reason, or believing in love, that if you set something free and it comes back to you, it's meant to be kind of thing, you have that level. You can do that. I would suggest potentially taking a break from your relationship to focus on yourself and getting yourself and your mental capacity to where it needs to be so that one, you can finish school, and two, you can eliminate some of the stress and added drama that you don't need. And then, hey, in 2 years when you finish and you move back to the country, maybe things will work out then, maybe they won't. Maybe in the 2 years you may find somebody else, and that's okay too. I'm a firm believer in being selfish in your own happiness. Like, don't let others take your happiness away from you. And by allowing him to give you that ultimatum, he's in essence taking the power and taking your happiness away. So my advice or suggestion would be to finish school and let the chips fall where they may.
I concur with Dave.
All
They're
right.
young, 20, 25 and
Yeah.
26.
And it's her first
Plenty of
boyfriend.
time. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't ever just settle on the first one. I
Yeah,
mean,
by 25, I had like 385 girlfriends. So I mean, like, come on.
yeah.
What
I
You
mean,
know,
they're young. It's, you know, come on. I think,
Yeah. And by him giving her that ultimatum shows that he really doesn't care about her wants and needs. And as a relationship grows and blossoms, it's got to be more of a 50-50 makes 100%. So she's got to put 50% in, he's got to put 50% in, and they come to an agreement on everything. But right now it's like a 90-10. He wants her to quit what she's doing and 10% of what she wants. So
yeah,
I would say run as fast as you can.
yeah, yeah. Because here's the thing. Let's say he proposes, she doesn't do the PhD, she goes and whatever, she's always going to regret it
And she'll resent him. Like their
and
relationship
resent
will
him.
never
Yep,
their relationship will never be the way that it was before she went to school.
right.
You know,
So, yeah, I think you got to pursue the dream, and the
absolutely.
relationship should be able to work with that
Yeah.
if it's meant to be. And like you said, um, I forget the exact saying, but yeah, if you let it go and it comes back type thing.
Mhm.
Who knows? Maybe it'll come back after you've got your PhD, and maybe he'll realize when he doesn't have you that he's screwed up.
Right.
So, you know, do you, girl.
That's right. Do you?
All right. So there's a deer day. Just an idea of what it's going to be like, right?
Yeah. No, I like it. It
All right.
works.
You have a conspiracy for me.
Yeah. So we briefly talked about the LA fires. Um,
Very briefly.
so I sent you two videos. One shows some fires and some interesting things with it, and some conspiracy ideas. I won't go theories because they're ideas right now of what could be happening in LA. And then the second video is a very confusing video that I'd like to get some more of your take on it.
Okay.
But from what I'm seeing now, I mean, not to go too deep into it like we don't do, but from what I'm seeing, is a very controlled free energy type fire. You know, a lot of the fires that had happened in Hawaii and other places, trees and things that are blue are not burning, which
Mm.
in a regular fire, have you seen this stuff already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I assumed. I
That's a
assumed it.
rare time you're going to catch me off
Yeah.
guard, buddy.
Um, yeah, that's what I figured. But I mean, so there's a lot of that going on right now in LA, and the fact that there's three different fires in California and they're wildfires. But how can three different wildfires go in certain directions? Like, how can they be started, naturally or organically and force everybody to go evacuate, So I would like to watch the video and then get your take on what you think.
Okay. So let me try and share the screen here so that the listeners can also, well, I guess the listeners will hear it. The viewers can watch it. Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. This is learning for me. So, which one am I doing first?
Do the fire one first.
The top one.
Yep.
Okay. I also don't know how loud this is going to come through, so bear with me. I haven't been able to actually. Can I mute the audio?
Yeah, I think so.
I used to be able to mute. Let me mute it just so it doesn't blast, right? You can still hear me, right?
I can hear you.
No?
Yeah, I can hear you.
When I mute it, I can't hear you.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I was like, I see his mouth moving, but I don't hear anything. Okay, I'm just gonna hit play and hopefully
Yeah,
it's not like crazy loud. If it is,
sorry.
we're gonna have to figure something out for this. I go pen content because every time there's Does this sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me let me turn it up on my end so I can hear it a little better. Something big in the news. I seem to find a pen. And I don't know if you've seen this picture or this video. Or this video where things from the other fire west of LA, the blue things didn't seem to want to burn. None of them. Which brings us to this video, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, where a certain color doesn't seem to be impacted by that directed light. Which brings us to US patent number 103378. You can see the rest, but click on it, and what do we have? I'm not even going to say it up there, but you can read, and you can click, and you can read, and you can scroll. Go look for yourself. I'll tell you one thing I probably know for sure, though, is I bet a lot of the elites in that area, I bet none of them lost their lives. I bet they had some advanced warning of what was coming. But of course, all this is just speculation and satire, and I don't even know if that is CGI, AI, or what, but if I were you,
I'd use my noggin and research more myself. Entertainment only, of course. Well, it seems
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that one.
So
Now this
you
one here.
do I need to watch both first before I comment?
No, comment first and then we'll watch the second one.
Okay. So let's see. Should I stop sharing the screen or should we
No,
just
you can leave it up.
okay. Um, so let's see. This has been a thing with the blue. Anything blue doesn't seem to burn. And just this morning, before we started podcasting, I saw there's like this everything like around like these. So, okay, these mansions that are burning in California, these are all like where the celebrities live, right? These aren't
Yeah.
small homes, these are giant homes. Um, and like everything, it was weird. So, there's this one big mansion just right in the middle of this neighborhood with a blue roof, and it's fine. And everything around it, like you can tell it's like two or three mansions deep in a complete like around it are there's nothing left. The other weird thing is lots of times with these fires, these forest fires, I do that in quotes, the trees are still there.
Right.
The trees aren't burning. It's a forest fire, or that supposedly that's how this stuff started. And I get it. It's they say, oh, it's the underbrush that California is not cleaning up, and and that's why they keep having these. Um, but there's been a whole lot of videos of people out starting fires too, which I find to be really strange. Not strange, but I guess is it is it that they're the initial cause of the fire, or is it like, oh, there's a fire, so now's our chance to go make more fires, or are they being put up to it? Would be
Right.
my question. Because nothing's off the table as far as I'm concerned with that. I think I think there's bad actors out there that would pay to have people start these fires. There is these California fires all seemed they started in three different locations at the exact same time. There's a
Yep.
time lapse video that you can find that shows them starting basically at the exact same time. Three different locations, not nearby each other. Like and when I say nearby, not like they're not super close to each other. They're in like pretty far from each other, I would say. I don't know the actual distance, but you know what I mean. They have a good distance from each other. How do they all start at the exact same time? That seems very coordinated.
Yep. Absolutely.
And a random fire doesn't typically be coordinated. You know what I mean? That's why it's random, hence the word random. Now, is it possible you had three different groups camping in three different areas of the woods, and all three, the wind picked up and their fires went out of control? I guess it's possible, but at the same time, probably not believable.
Right.
Um, it doesn't seem very logical. When you apply common sense, that doesn't seem like something that it would be. So, um, but I think at this point you can't even sit here and say, well, directed energy weapons aren't a thing. Well, they are. You saw from the video, it's a thing. It's not, there's no question there. Um, are they using it for this? Well, if I had to, if you put me in on the stand, I would say yes.
Right.
Um, because just to go a little deeper on these California fires is in years past, they have these fires every year, right? So there's a few things you have to look at here. Uh, they've said that Los Angeles will be a smart city by 2028. Well,
Yep.
what's one thing that needs to happen? Well, you probably need to clear out a whole bunch of shit. Another thing, and this goes back several years, they were talking about a high-speed rail, like train, high-speed train or whatever. And they had this hypothetical path of where it's going to go. And then, ironically, the following years after making that announcement, you overlay the map of all the fires they had had with the map of the high-speed train, and the fires happened in the exact identical location this train was supposed to go. Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't just happen like that.
Oh,
That seems very coordinated. Once again, planned almost. Um, so obviously it's 2025. You've got 3 years to make this city a smart city. The regulations, I know you don't like Adam Carolla, but he went on this big, huge rant about the building permits and all this stuff in Los Angeles and in California in general, and how it's a nightmare if you want to do anything. It's like living in an HOA where the entire board is nothing but Karens that hate you and don't want anything to change ever. And you
yeah,
have to pay out the ass if you do want to change. And even then, it's still going to be years. So you want to put a fence up, you want to put a pool in, you want to paint your wall inside your house. They have a problem with it, basically.
that's ridiculous.
And so what he's talking about is how nobody's going to be able to rebuild because of the regulations California has for rebuilding. Well, this just like think about the Hawaii fire. None of those
Hmm.
people wanted to sell their homes. They were offered tons and tons of money by these big conglomerate corporations, whatever, that wanted to buy up these homes right on the ocean there and put in their giant resorts, right?
Yep.
And these people were like, no, no, no. And this went on for years. And then this fire happens. And then now they won't let these people, they're saying, oh, you don't get to have that land. Yes, that was yours. It's not anymore because of the fire. And so they won't let them rebuild. You know what I mean? And you watch, there will be resorts built in place.
Yeah.
And you, it's these types of things that I'm sorry, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And if you don't do what they want, they will find a way to take you out, take your shit out. I mean, are you gonna, I don't know. Are you gonna offer these celebrities a whole bunch of money to buy up their, well, it'd be cheaper just to burn it all down and then never, and then with all your regulations, essentially block them from ever being able to rebuild. They've got money, they can go build a house somewhere else or buy a
Anywhere.
house somewhere else, right? That's what
Right.
the thought process is. And if the bigger goal here is to make it a smart city, well, we've just cleared out a whole bunch of stuff. I can tell
Right.
you one thing that's been very interesting, and celebrities tend to vote left and lean Democratic. And I've seen a whole bunch of them come out really pissed off against the Democrats, the Democrat mayor, Gavin Newsom, the Democrat governor. Um, and it's not looking good for, like, I don't know. I'm very curious what will happen. And there's still fires going at the time of recording. It's still ongoing and it's actually moving. Last I saw was moving into Brentwood and all that. Now we can go
Let's,
deeper into why.
it's interesting that you say that it's still ongoing. Watch the next video.
Okay. So let's pull up the next video.
Because I do not see one. It is currently, look at my phone, January 10 at 1:10. All right, guys.
So
Where? Because I do not see one. It is currently, look at my phone, January 10th.
So she's not showing, she's showing this Hollywood sign and that's it, essentially, right?
Right.
Well, was the Hollywood sign a part of the fires?
Yeah. In the video we watched, the first video we watched, it was.
See, I haven't seen any video. Well, I guess I didn't even notice that. the I don't think the sign is actually part of the fires because okay, so what's on fire? They're saying what the Palisades something or other.
Yep.
Um, here, maybe we just need to look it up. Here's the problem is when we get into conspiracies, now we start going. So where are the California fires? Okay. So it's half off the screen for you.
Yep.
I just want to see locations. Like, okay, maybe this is what we're looking for here. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I can't really, I want to make it bigger, but I don't know how to do that. Okay. So we're here, view image. There we go. You could see that pretty well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure where the Hollywood sign is on this map, but so it's these are in different this is what I mean by like they're far from each other. So
Yeah.
like I think the satellite it was kind of a triangle thing, so it might have been this one, and this one, or what was on the satellite. Like these aren't near each other. You couldn't make the walk from Altadena to this area or here quickly. One,
Right.
because of traffic, but two, that's not that close either. You know what
20
I
or
mean?
30 miles at least. Yeah.
So for those three to start at say the exact same time seems really strange to me. Um, I would assume the Hollywood sign somewhere here, maybe because there's Burbank I'm not exactly sure where it is.
Well, down from where you're at there from Burbank, you've got West Hollywood.
Yeah, let me pull up Google Maps and we'll find the Hollywood sign. Considered Los Angeles. Okay, so yeah, from that right there, it looks fine to me. It's not on fire or anything. Just
Yeah, but
kidding.
is that reason? So where is that then?
Well, I'm
So
gonna back out and so there's Burbank. It's right beneath Burbank. So when we go to let's get rid of that, go back to here. So here's Burbank. So it's right beneath. So it's somewhere right in here. This right here is Griffith Park. So it's somewhere right in here.
okay.
You see,
Yeah.
Burbank Hollywood sign is right there. Right.
Yep.
So
It's
right.
probably right there because that looks like mountains there. So I
So
would say it's
there's no fire even close to it. So I'm not sure where the
well,
video is. I think in years past there might have been fire. I don't know if the
that's
footage
what
that
the audio or that's what the video was saying was that a lot of the videos and images we're seeing now are AI generated. They're not even real
oh,
videos.
so I guess I'm not going to rule that out, but I can tell you one thing is that if you I mean you could spend 5 minutes. You go to I'll use Paris Hilton as an example. She literally, her house is gone. And on her Snapchat, she literally goes to where her house was and says, and she's like, this is all that's left. And she walks through where the front door was,
Really?
and it's just rubble. Like there's nothing there. The neighbor's not there. Then on either side, nothing's there. Like it's everything is rubble. So there's you could say, well, that's all fake too. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we could physically fly out to Los Angeles and take pictures ourselves, but that would be the only way to essentially prove that.
Right,
You
right,
know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they can't make something look like it's on fire that's not. We know they have those effects very easily. You could do it on your iPhone. You know what I
right, right.
mean? Like
Exactly.
I'm sure we could figure out a way to make it seem like the purple chair behind you is on fire when it's not. But
Right.
I don't know how you. uh, create the destruction that's in, like, you know what I mean? And it's not just her. I mean, there's several
Yeah, I
different
know
people
there's
that have
a lot
gone
of
to these
place.
places, and these homes aren't there anymore. They're just gone. Um, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's an
There's
interesting
a whole
thing,
lot of LA that's not on fire. I can tell you that.
right?
But and I'm not sure where. I think a lot of the celebrities are in this area here, right?
Palisades.
So yeah, and like, well, like the hills, the hidden hill, like this vicinity. I think this is they live up in these hills and stuff, and on the right.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to LA?
When I was a really, really small child,
Okay, so
so I don't remember it.
I had been there. I've been there twice, three times, something like that. It's I don't know. If you're into the whole movie thing and you want to see locations, drive past the Playboy Mansion, things like that, it's neat. If you're not into any of that, and this is a whole nother conspiracy, but the rumors, and I'll just present it. I won't talk much about it. Of the tunnels between the homes,
Yeah.
and I'll just drop adrenochrome as a teaser. This is all being done to cover up all of this, knowing who's becoming president and potential looking into everything. So I don't know. Who knows?
Makes sense.
That's where I'll leave that.
Okay.
So we've watched both the videos, all right?
Yep.
So we're good. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll delete it.
I'll stop sharing the screen and we're back to you and I on screen. All right. That's exciting. Did the
Yes,
listeners
indeed.
enjoy that? Did the viewers enjoy that?
I hope so.
I like for the viewers specifically that they're able to see the same thing we're looking at.
Right, right. No, that's really cool.
Yeah, it sucks for the listener because you're not seeing it and we are referencing something that we're watching, but you know, the video version of this podcast you'll see on Patreon. I mean,
Right, right.
there's a there's an advantage to going to Patreon, would you say?
Many advantages, yes.
So you're gonna get a lot more, and it's not that it's not that expensive. I don't think we're not. I don't think we've set any for sure prices because we don't have anything there yet. But
Right. No.
because this
But
is the first episode, right?
yeah, we've discussed it, but we haven't really come to
Yeah. So
finalize
as we
yet.
get to that point, talk about that a lot more. And you know, I don't think we're necessarily. We're not going to maybe turn away sponsors if they want to sponsor, but I think we're more so looking to kind of keep it in a Patreon type thing, you know, let the listeners be the sponsor and we'll kind of do it for you guys as opposed to um, a big corporation or whatever. If somebody wants to promote their business, though, we'll certainly do that. If you want to promote your
Absolutely.
product, if you want to send Dave and I hats, we'll wear them. You want to send us a shirt, we'll wear it. If you want
Right.
to you know, whatever. If
Sample
you make,
product. Clever.
yeah, if you make something and you want it, you want me to drink out of the cup you make, I will drink out of that cup. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, so we'll promote just about anything, just
Absolutely.
about anything. Um, so yeah, anything's anything's on the table here.
Everything's on the table right now.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you send us a request, if we don't want it or we don't like it, we'll tell you no.
Yeah, we'll tell you now.
You know,
Okay. Is there anything else we want to do? Do we want to get into it, what you're watching? Is there anything in the news you want to talk about?
Well, the big news one was the California stuff. I mean,
Yeah, those
obviously,
fires, they're going on.
yeah,
I I I don't know. These tend to last a couple weeks, right? Every year this is a thing. It's not like this is new. It's just normally it's not celebrity homes and it's
right.
normally not it's always on the news though. Um and there's usually multiple ones. There's I don't know. I think California in general is just mismanaged
Yeah,
and I think they things need to get fixed out there. I mean, they have a big problem. It it's not just fires, it's homelessness, it's the um man, I don't know. It that's all kinds of stuff going on in California. It's just bad.
yeah,
So,
super bad.
and I thought there heard there was an earthquake in the northern part of California like a day or two ago too.
Oh, really? No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. So like and typically when there's an earth like one, it's followed by more. Or
Mhm.
maybe even like this was a pre. So, I mean, I don't know. It could get really hairy for Californians.
Yeah, I'm not planning on going out there anytime soon.
Yeah, me either. As far west as I am good with anymore is like Vegas.
Yeah, I like
Anything,
Vegas.
anything beyond Vegas, I don't really care too much for it.
Right. No, I feel you. So,
Same thing with out east. I'm not a huge fan of the East Coast either. Um,
yeah, no, me neither. I
I
mean,
mean, I the like and when I say East Coast, I'm talking like DC.
yeah,
And you know what I mean? Like the maybe New York. I like New York, but I don't think I'd want to go visit ever again.
not anytime soon with the China admitting that there's nuclear shit. And
That's a whole different conspiracy corner.
I know.
Start getting into the drones.
I just saw that this morning before we got on here.
Man. Yeah,
But
that's the thing. These things that they're always going to be a topic. You should
mm,
never have a problem with a topic.
yeah, no, never, never.
So, um,
I think this is a good one for the first one for everybody.
all right. Yeah, that's good.
You
All
know.
right. So let me go down the list of things. All right.
Yeah.
So as of this moment, everything is new. We
Yep.
haven't tweeted or X'd. I don't even, what do you say now for
I think people are calling it posting now.
posting? Okay. We haven't
Post.
posted anything on X. Uh, we haven't posted anything on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, but they're all there. They all exist, right? Let's start with the email. Okay. It's
Yeah.
guys who still high five. It's spelled out guys who still high and then the number five, right?
So is it HI or is it HIGH?
High
Yeah.
because when you high five, you go high, right?
Yes. Yes. No, I'm just
High
making
five.
sure.
Yep. But it's the number five. So
Okay.
most of these have the number five. There's only a few that don't.
Okay.
And it's because I couldn't do the five or I couldn't spell it out. It was one or the other. So I did the best I could. So that's the email. Guys who still high number five, right?
At what? At what?
Oh, at Gmail.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't. I just assumed everybody knew it was Gmail, I guess.
Just making sure.
All right. On X, we are at guys still high five. There is no who. Wouldn't let
Okay.
me do it for some reason. I think it's a character limitation at that point.
Yeah.
So at guys still high number five. Okay.
Okay.
TikTok, guys who still high number five.
Okay.
Instagram, guys who still high number five. Okay. Those are all the ones with the number five. Now
Okay.
we get into Patreon. It's guys who still high five, all spelled out. Five is FIVE,
Okay.
right? And then on YouTube, it's guys who still high five, all spelled out. So Patreon and YouTube are the same.
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram, and Gmail are the same, and X just dropped the Who.
Okay.
Does that make
Nice.
sense?
Yep.
All right. So those are what's out there as of starting to record, but none of them have anything on it right now.
Not
So
yet.
they will. So maybe when you're hearing this and you go there, there might be something at each one of these. Well, and the other thing is TikTok supposedly getting banned real quick here. So the TikTok might go away. But
Yeah, depending.
yeah, at this moment we have it because it exists, but it might not. So we'll see.
In a week from today.
Yeah, that's when it's supposed to get banned. So
Yeah.
if you try to go to TikTok, chances are, if it gets banned, you're not even going to be able to get to TikTok. So it won't really matter. Um, anyways, that's all the social medias. Um, anything else?
I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, until next time,
All right.
right on.
Left off.